gosh. Welcome to Discover Las Vegas. Final episode, season 1. We made it here.
Yay.
Yay. So excited because this is the ground level team, right? Like we got Philip back. We got Jasmine. She takes a hiatus from here and there. And then we have Juan, who joined our team for a short period of time. And, you know, this is the full-time team that brought you Becker Tech in its previous and present form. So super excited. We'll go through some of our milestones, but I am one of your hosts, Priscilla Scott, Recreation Coordinator, City of Las Vegas. And I am joined today by...
I you know what I'm saying? It's been a while, so I didn't know if it was an order, Phil Payne, now at Stupak Community Center. Great time.
Jasmine, Recreation Leader, Becker Tech.
Juan Lopez, Acting Recreation Leader / current Customer Service, Becker Tech, and Mirabelli. We brought Phil back. That means get ready because Becker... It's bringing the pain back.
Oh, no. I ain't coming back.
Oh, man.
You guys, it's been a super monumental ride at Becker Tech. We're saying goodbye to Juan, kind of. He's moving back down the street to head to his home base of Mirabelli. He's been on loan to us for a little bit. And that's just the nature of the beast, right? And Phil earlier had said Becker is a really hard place to transition out of because everything here just works so cohesively and so well. And
self-pat on the back.
Well, I
humble brag.
That's not why I was saying it, but since you mentioned it, I mean, I do run the facility, but no, but legit, we have I said it in our staff meeting too, we don't really have a weakest link in terms of staff. We've got a strong, solid team. Everybody has fun together, knows their role, and we just do what we do. And I say it all the time, I'm talent management. The talent lives all over, just not here. I'm going to find a hidden talent one day. Stay tuned.
Hey, you're learning.
You have the talent to manage talent. So
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a hard one.
Yes, get out of the way. I have the talent to get out of the way and let them do what they do. But, I mean, the last year and a half, because now it's been incredible. Just the different people we've worked with, how much I've learned, how much we've grown. Where we started out, even in the beginning when we were talking about starting the podcast, the hoops we had to jump through and the policies and the procedures and reading and combing through, we're government. So just all of that knowledge and learning all of that to now being okay, 19 episodes, season 1 is done. We've done way better than I could have imagined us doing. I know. I mean, we shot our pilot several times, and every time it was ooh. And then finally, when the official pilot went to communications, it was amazing. But what's your favorite Becker memory?
Ooh, my favorite Becker memory was when the podcast table was in a different location. No, I was just playing.
And Jasmine had a horrible background.
Oh, ooh, that's a hard one. Because even though I left yesterday, it feels like so long ago. Ooh, that's a hard one. I mean, I don't know, maybe come back to me on that one but I can say that there's definitely a difference working here than, working at different centers. And I think it really stems from how crazy it is to have so many different type of personalities in one building that work so cohesively together or are able to figure things out together. So I think maybe that's probably my best memory is just, you know what I'm saying, being around a fun, inclusive, you know, environment where, you know, everybody really put in hand to hand to make things go on a daily basis, whether it was dealing with the kids, whether it was producing the podcast or putting on those great old special events where we have to blow up the inflatables, put the inflatables back, you know, so yeah, I think that's my greatest memory for sure is just being around a team environment.
Favorite Becker memory?
I feel like I have a couple. Our birthday party was super fun just because like everyone was there and it was just like a big party. Even though we had like the rain and we had to cancel the jumpers and like it was a whole chaos, but it was still a lot of fun. That and usually our staff meetings are really fun, especially like the potlucks.
We're here for the food. The work just happens.
Jasmine makes the greatest enchiladas I've ever had. So, shouts out to Jasmine.
Thank you.
I haven't been here for a long time, but I did get to make some memories here. The most recent one was the back to school event last week. It was just so cool seeing everybody like work kind of like outside of their usual jobs or duties and just still put on for the community and just seeing everyone, all the people that we've been seeing, but the people just around the neighborhood that just, it's a real community out here and they're all the rec centers, you know, they all have their own communities. This being a technology center, you can maybe think that it's not going to be like that, but it is. The people that come here, it's a real community, and I'm glad we got to service them in a different way than we usually do and provide something good for the students and the families and all that. Besides that, just getting to know everyone here, everyone's talents, what they like, what they can go on and on and on about. I really like getting to know people. Seeing the kids like after guitar class or the content creation class, how they're just really happy for what they learned, what they experienced during the class, and the parents like just being so happy for them. And you don't get to see that at the other rec center, so that's a memory that I'll always have. I don't know. There's a lot more that I made in these past 3 months, so it's kind of hard to just pull one out of the air, but those are kind of like the most recent ones and the cool ones. Steam, the all Steam, not, I wouldn't say like the event itself, but just like the prepping for it and the after, where the whole team got together and to put everything together and take it over there, install it, and then bring it back. Like it was like a well-oiled machine, like you always say. Like everyone was on it, everyone knew what their jobs were, and it was cool to see that. You don't see that in other places a lot, so good job.
I think my favorite memory was the tech lab camp.
That was fun.
Having them do that challenge and like having the fire station join us. And so that was your camp that you were like, oh, I want that to, because we started, so for all of you out there, Parks and Rec starts planning for summer in like November. And so we had already planned out like what camps Philip was going to do, what camps Jasmine was going to do, but that was before Phil got transferred. And he was like, no, I want them to sample the studio and the videos and this and that. And he had put like all this stuff together. And then he transfers. So I was like, okay, Jasmine, you're going to have to take this over. And in all the craziness of it just being her and I, we didn't have like a ton planned. And then Juan comes in and he's like, oh, I got it. That's what I do. Da, 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 da. So he plans the whole thing out. And I think that was like the biggest testament to teamwork because it was Philip's concept. Then it moved into Jasmine and then Juan actually put it together. But Juan wasn't here that week. And
Remind
it
me.
still ran like so smooth. They did their video challenges. We found new hidden talents with staff.
Yeah.
The fire station, when the kids were recording their videos and they were kind of dry, I was like, I think I can get fire. So literally got in the car, drove up the street a block. I knocked on the fire station door and they were like, yeah, we'll come help. And they brought the engines and the kids had to like,
They were doing the
that's
chicken
how they showed up
dance.
I
that
had
day.
no idea that that's how that happened.
Yeah.
And I told them,
Okay.
I'll have you in and out in 5 minutes because they're like,
that's
we
cool.
don't. And I'm like, nope. And so the kids were doing this whole challenge thing, and the fire engines pulled up. They showed the firemen their dances. And it was like literally not just the teamwork that for us was like a 7-month process, but to have like the fire station join us. And it was a really cool experience. So I think overall, for everything that we've done, that was like the biggest testament of teamwork.
Yeah, I really like the collaboration. I remember when I got that summer camp and I was like, I don't know any of this. Like, I'm just going to randomly throw stuff in here. Hopefully it'll work. And then Juan got here and he has like all his production. I was like, Juan, help me. Take this, please. So that was really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My kid is still talking about that week.
It's a
Yeah.
real community feel.
Love
Man.
it.
Love.
He did. He loved that. What has been the most challenging about working at Becker?
Me? I think the most challenging thing for myself was having to leave. I mean, if, in all honesty, especially when you build so many relationships with not only just the staff across the board, but the kids as well too. Because I mean, we came in and we developed that mentorship program from the ground up, and got to be, you know what I'm saying, serve not only the school across the street, but some of the high schools in the surrounding neighborhood and the elementary kids too. So it's for sure for me was, you know, having to up and go and not really, I guess, get that, you know, closure from not or understanding to that you're not going to be around this anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I think for sure that, at least for myself.
What about you guys? What was the most challenging
I wouldn't say,
or a challenge?
yeah, that there's like one specific. I think for me, the biggest would be like with mentorship. There's a lot of just like community service that we have to do that I don't think we knew we would have to do. Like in the beginning, it was like, oh, we'll have like a little mentorship program and just kind of like have fun with them. And now it's like these kids like need a lot of resources.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably been the most difficult.
Yeah, it's not a summer camp, huh? You gotta definitely like service or facilitate things that they can't get just easily for them. So we're here for them. I agree with Phil. Like it's definitely a challenge to like leave this place. Like especially for him, like he put everything in motion, and like you said, he didn't get the closure of seeing how it developed and what his vision was and all that. And I agree. I put in a lot of work for developing guitar lessons and all that, and so also actually I have a gift for you, KP, behind the camera. I have a binder over there with a lot of like content creation ideas and stuff like that we can implement whenever a kid doesn't know what they want to do. There's a bunch of ideas there and all that stuff. And thank you and Bree too for everything that you guys do for us running this thing smoothly. Sorry, I deviated. Anyways, a challenge. I like challenges, so it was to me. I look at it as learning experiences. So, for example, to me, it was challenging because I didn't know a lot about esports. Like, I play video games at home, but I was not like, I don't have the attention span to be on it for a long time. So I missed out on a lot of stuff that kids now like Fortnite and Roblox and that kind of stuff. So every day was a learning experience, like getting familiar with it to see what the kids wanted to do, needed to do, and like how we can implement that in here. And so I ended up organizing a Fortnite tournament last week for the mentorship kids, and they really liked it, man. I got them some prizes. So from where I started to where it ended, like that challenge that I took on, like I think it paid off. And just from here, it gave me like a tool to carry with me to wherever I go and do that. Another challenge was like keeping during the summer, for certain summer weeks, keeping the kids engaged and not running around like crazy. That was a big challenge, but the team, like we all came together to like kind of like we all had to like had each other's back, because at some point we all like, oh man, this is just too crazy. And then
Yeah.
another one came in and took over, and yeah, it was cool though. But yeah.
I think for me, the challenge is managing the management expectation with the community needs and the staff talent, right? Because exactly what you said, Jasmine, when we were like, oh yeah, we'll start mentorship and we'll do this for the middle school. And I think it was when Phil came to me and was like, we need to start a food program because we have kids who don't get food. And I was like, what do you mean? And another staff member had brought up that one of our kids needed food for that day. Like they didn't have any food. And I remember like going to KFC and buying like food for their family for that night. Like, okay. And I remember saying like, how can we expect them to be good people when they don't even know where their next meal is coming from? And then we found ourselves like buying toiletries and all this. And then at the same time, this is a business. And so managing the business expectations that management has for us and our commitment to like a certain budget and the staffing ratios and, you know, the desire to try to standardize with the other recreational facilities when what we do is so different and our community does have a lot of needs, being able to like properly communicate that so that when a management decision is made, it doesn't hurt the community that we're serving. And then looking at the team that we have and how do we allow people to be successful in their role, that it matches, you know, their personality or their talent, but at the same time still fills that need that we have to get a certain job done. So just balancing those three. And sometimes the management expectation is completely different than what the community need is. And it's completely different than the staff talent that we have to implement any of that. So it does get to be a little tricky. And I do appreciate that we have staff that's like, I don't know how to do that, but if you show me, I'm going to figure it out and like surpass. Like we've all mentioned like Bree and KP, but they ended up like learning video and all of the equipment and the podcast and producing and engineering and all those things. And they're both graphic designers. And just the fact that they're always so willing to be like, oh yeah, I'll figure it out. Oh yeah, we can do that. Oh, I'm sure there's a way. Oh yeah, I can go do that. Like never is it, well, no, because that's just not what I do. Like that's never the answer. Like it's always like, oh, well, I don't know about that, but let's try it this way. Or like, and you don't see a lot of that because some places, have you guys ever been to like a restaurant and you walk up to the counter and you're like, hi, you know, can I have a Coke? And they're like, our machine's down.
Oh, that's McDonald's. They ain't never got no ice cream.
And you're just like, okay, the machine is broken. Can I get water? Like a cup of water, or we don't give free cups.
Jeez.
Do you sell bottled water? Anything at all, right? And that happens in more instances than you wouldn't believe, but that doesn't really happen here. A lot of times I'll be like, hey, let's do, and everyone just looks at me and there's like a half a second pause and then everybody moves and they're like, okay, let's try it this way. So I love everybody's willingness. For me, my career, I can say that I had felt some of the challenges just in the profession in general. And when I first took over construction of Becker, I felt like defeated from my previous responsibility being put into this. And I remember our director, and I've said it on previous episodes, where he was like, "No, I think you're great for this. I think you're great for this." And I was like, "I'm being punished." And now I am like, that was the best thing that could have happened. Like, I love it. I love the team that works here. Everybody has become like an extension of, Connor's and my family. My little broke bestie. But no, it's been a fun year.
Like I said, the challenges are always a learning experience. So all the challenges that you mentioned you guys had with the mentorship kids, now look at it like this is the best mentorship program I've seen in the city. You guys are doing really good. We tried to start something over there, but it didn't quite like get there. And when I came here and I saw how it's all laid down and like organized, it's a really good service that you guys provide to the kids. And like you said, it was a challenge for you because you didn't know nothing about it. But now all the stuff that you've learned what, Photoshop or something like that. You were saying that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Between Jasmine and Bree, they got me covered on Adobe. One day, I can't remember what I was doing, but I am like, okay, I can do a simple edit now. Like, I know how to export. I know how to save files. I know how to, like, do simple editing. I'm not quite there yet. Haven't made it to CapCut. But, I did not know how to do any of that before. And, Jasmine and Bree, sometimes I'm like, I have to save this, and I was like, come here.
Yeah.
Just walk with me.
That's the cool thing that everybody here is like they're not afraid of the challenges. And everybody learns everybody's like thing, like everybody can teach the robotics class, the Minecraft, and that's a pretty cool thing to see, man. Everybody involved, which is what makes a good team. And that's why, like Phil said, it's hard to leave the team. Yeah.
For sure.
Jasmine, what would you say is, I'm gonna put you on the spot because you're like in the center of it all, right? Everybody has to walk past you to get to the storage room where everything lives. You've had Philip and Juan both sitting next to you. You have the front desk sitting next to you. I have my own office, but you have a very, very, very shared space. So, what is your favorite Philip memory?
Wow. Maybe when I came out the top rope on one of them kids.
Can I? Rosa Parks and the bus.
What?
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
Pique my interest.
Juan doesn't know this.
Yeah, no.
Phil, would you like to explain to Juan in the
Oh, you gotta
correct
let
way?
you gotta let Jasmine tell the story.
Go ahead.
So anytime Phil was asked to do a task that he did not want to do, he would say Rosa Parks.
And then Priscilla would ask, what does that mean? And Philip would say,
What Rosa Parks said when they told her to go to the back of the bus.
So I found a bus and I 3D modeled Rosa Parks on the top, and on the front it says Phil. Or no, the license plate says Phil. And then I 3D printed it.
And on the front of the
In
bus
gold.
it say NAH.
Yeah.
Nah.
oh.
But I would also say Rosa Parks to the kids whenever that, do you got games on your phone? Can we
Yep.
can we
Oh, yeah. They definitely felt a lot more comfortable asking you certain things than anybody else. But you're like a giant kid.
Yeah.
100%. And that's why that was kind of hard for me for sure, because there'll be days where, especially when you're trying to mentor and teach them, where you want to go off the top rope and give them the people's elbow sometimes because of some of the things that they do. But especially now being away from you miss those, those teachable moments. You miss those, moments where you can really help one of them grow.
What's your favorite Juan memory?
Editor, I actually have a picture. So at this lovely event that Juan was just talking about is one of his favorite memories. He got stuck in.
You have a picture of that?
I do.
It's okay. She's got videos of me going through the jump house.
Yes. Yeah. So, editor, we can add those in. I have them anytime you need them.
I only been back 30 minutes. I seen both of them pictures.
I went in there like 4 times, and 4 of those times I got stuck in that same thing. I wasn't going to let it beat me, but it did every single time. And I guess there's proof.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh.
100%.
So I would say that, or just like any of the times we've been in the office bonding over like forgetting stuff.
That part.
There's always a time of day where Juan and I are
That
both like
part.
confused and we're like, oh, we forgot to take our medicine. That's why.
Yeah.
And then he'll remind me or I'll remind him.
I never felt so understood in my life. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's super funny that like my pet peeves, I have a list of pet peeves, right? But I make them very well known so that the people around me know what they are.
It's not really a list. It's like a poster.
It's like a novel.
Right. It might be a couple pages.
I will say Juan better than anybody else. Like I saw him trying to avoid my pet peeves. He's like he's got things scheduled. He's writing things down. Like, I'm like, man. And, both you and Phil are orange, but you're different types of orange. And, well, high orange, I should say. And it's different because Phil's just like, and?
It all depends on the situation and the scenario. Because sometimes, people love to over-exaggerate things or,
Over exaggerate.
This pebble might be a boulder to other people.
Yes, because timeliness matters. My favorite Philip memory is when Philip comes in the morning, miserable because he's awake, late.
Sunglasses
And you're like,
I relate.
Sunglasses on.
good morning.
Sonic drink.
And it's that McDonald's moment because he's got his sunglasses on. I'm like, is he awake? Did he hear me say good morning? And then Jasmine's just uncomfortable, like, is he
don't say
going to
good morning to
respond? And then I'd be like, I'm talking to you. He's like, oh, sup?
No, he'll say, can I set my stuff down first?
Oh, wow. Okay.
'Cause-
Not a morning person.
He is. He goes to the gym at like 5 o'clock in the morning and still comes in bitter when I say good morning with his sunglasses on.
Okay.
Because sometimes it'd be like, hey, Phil, did you do this? Did you, it was like, can I just
Did you get my email?
I just want to sit down in this nice cushioned seat for like 2 seconds.
See, I'm a morning person. And I come in before you guys. Mm-hmm. So by the time you guys get here, I've been here by myself.
And that
going through things.
That poster
and
got
working.
longer. That poster got longer.
And
during
then I'm
that time
like,
frame.
people! And he's like, you can't talk to Phil before like noon.
That's a lie.
Maybe like 11,
11.
10:30.
10:30 for sure. You can't even play rap music before 11. Barbershop taught us that.
Said no rap music before 11. That's awesome.
So yeah.
Well, I'm like that too, but because of my ADHD, I always need to be creative at every time. And this place allows me the opportunity to be creative all day. So when I get here, I'm already in that mindset of like just, wanting to work on something, wanting to create something. And then that, plus I've been watching a lot of videos, and therapy shows me, lists and dates and all that stuff. So that's why I'm doing that. But I wasn't like that, before that. So I get it. I get both sides.
Juan, what's your favorite Jasmine memory?
Oh, shoot. That's crazy. And it's real. But
I say that every single day.
I know. That whole part where she said like we both like bonded over these moments where we just certain
Like our brains working or not working in the
yes,
same way.
yes, like we just understand how how each other's brains work.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I've been there. Oh shoot, I can't believe I forgot that. Oh, I've been there. Like it's just like so relatable. Besides that, like, let's see. Oh, I'd have to think about that. The I don't know if I can think of like moments, but just like her like planning out the summer camp weeks, like the STEAM week, the 3D print camp week, in her element, like doing what she does and like having fun at it, being creative. Like I said, those days you can't. She's on it all day, so you can't really like take time to talk about other stuff like too much because she's like you can see visibly that she's like focused on what she's doing and on next activity and the next activity, and it's like it's cool, man. I learned a lot from that. A moment was when I learned that she is a Nevada enthusiast, fanatic,
She knows everything.
all that stuff. Any Nevada fact that y'all want to know? Right
Okay,
here.
listen, the internet's big. I wouldn't say I'm a historian. I would say I'm
A connoisseur.
Aficionado.
Aficionado. A lot of stuff like places that I've never heard
classic Nevada
before.
enjoyer.
Parks.
Yeah, you went on vacation, and I swear she was like back east somewhere, and she's like, "No, this is da State Park.
Yeah.
It's 2.5 hours away." I was like, "You were in Nevada?"
yes, I have a state park pass.
And she uses it.
I do.
That was crazy.
Phil, what's your favorite Jasmine memory?
Ooh.
I don't like this segment.
I don't know if I have a specific memory, but I probably would say just being able to grow with Jasmine, because when we all first got together in that little cubicle over at admin and nobody really knew each other, Jasmine ain't a talker. Jasmine ain't gonna go out her way to, get to know
word
people,
count
et
as
cetera,
well.
et cetera.
Yes, very low.
Yeah, but it's just night and day difference between how it was then and then how it is now, and how once she does get comfortable around people, that she ain't as quiet as y'all think.
Especially not her face.
Like what they said. Oh, you're actually pretty cool.
Exactly. Yep.
I've gotten that a lot. Oh, you're cool.
Yeah. Sometimes she's just so focused on her computer. You'll talk to her and she will not like turn around. She didn't even hear you. She was just focused on it. But I had a lot of questions to ask her. I learned a lot from her. Sometimes I just felt bad, like, man, she's probably got to be annoyed with me now, all these questions. And, nah, man, she's always been really helpful. Yep. Thank you, man.
And she don't really get frustrated. And
Not externally.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Internalized, yeah, for sure.
I'd be like, okay.
Her face speaks.
Yeah.
So Friday, we before our event, we discovered water. Well, we had discovered it early in the week, but it got really bad on Friday, and so she had like blocked it off. And I was like, "No, like we're using that space for the event." And the look on her face was like, "You are out of your mind." And I was like, "Fix your face." I said what I said. Because I knew in that moment, her and I had a very, very, very big difference of opinion. She was like, "No, this area is done." And I was like, "No, this area is on and popping, and we just have to manage this water leak right here." And I was like, "Fix your face." Because that's usually like when you're like,
Yeah. I do have a pretty emotive face.
you do. Your face speaks volumes, which is hysterical. But you know what else I love about you, Jasmine, is you are like the vault keeper of all things.
Yeah.
Like everybody comes to you with life. Everybody comes to you with their secrets. Everybody comes to you because they're like, "How do I do this?" Or "Can you help me strategize on this?" Like you are not just data vault keeper. You're like secrets and life vault keeper.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes they don't even come to me. I'll just go to them. I'm like, hey. Yeah.
Yeah, in a very non-judgmental way. Because even sometimes I'm like, ooh, that was a TMI moment. But then again, in a building this small, you can pretend to not hear somebody's conversation as much as you want, but we're literally on top of each other.
Yeah. No, I tell everyone if you don't want me to know it, don't say it in the building. Because I'll find out. Don't say it in the building.
Like the building is so tiny that no matter where you are, and granted, we have some soundproofing going on. So if the door's closed, you stand a pretty good chance. But it's a very small building. So everybody knows everything. It kind of reminds me of how I grew up, to be honest, because there were a lot of us in a very small house. And so everybody now as adults, we all like will pack into one space. Like when everybody comes to my house, everyone is like packed into my kitchen. And I'm like, we have all this space and everybody is right here. So that's what in here reminds me of is that we are all in a very small space. So it definitely works. Okay, so for those of you moving on, Philip, Juan,
Yes.
if you could steal, this is hypothetical because it's not going to happen. If you could steal
The staff.
one Becker staff member,
Ooh.
who would it be and why? And only one.
Eesh.
Oh, that's easy for your boy. I'm going with Bree. Bree is up out of here with the quickness. I mean, because I met Bree before, even before coming to Becker, and just the type of work she does and the type of commitment she has to, you know, the details or the job at hand is second to none. You know what I'm saying? And you don't really get too
Good
many
thing
people
she's happy where she's at.
that. So for sure. Bree is up out of here if I got a choice.
Well, then I'm gonna have to go with KP. She can do what Bree can do, and if she can, she can learn. Like she's just like adaptable, you know. But she's already worked at Mirabelli, so she probably won't want to go back there and get, you know. So in that case,
She's happy where she's at.
yeah. So in that case, since I'm a customer service rep over there, I'm gonna have to take Lo with me. Cause she's got it going at the front desk, man.
She's happy too.
yeah, she is happy. But nah, she's got everything. Like she knows what classes are, she can fast learn fast who all the kids are when they come in. She's already got them scanned, and she's very like by the book. And when you're in the front desk, you kind of have to be like that. You have the customer service side, but also the part where you're not gonna take no BS from random people coming in. You know, you're gonna have them stick to what it's supposed to be, like the rules and expectations and all that. So I'll take Lo.
I feel like I should get a second one too, because
You don't.
I'll because you know I'm definitely taking TT Keena with me too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely taking Keena with me as
Keena
well.
likes it here.
You know,
Keena got one of the biggest hearts you'll probably ever meet for sure, and is extremely relatable from the top
He's never
down.
met a stranger.
From the top down, so for sure. Especially if you're trying to go in and move people, I'm for sure bringing Keena with your boy. Hint, hint.
She's not coming. Now, if you need a sub, any of them are more than capable to come and sub one time.
I want to come and sub here.
One time.
So I don't
So you got to find your way
So
back
wait.
in unorthodox ways.
Yeah.
So, as we wrap up like season 1, we're done with our first year. We're well into our second year at Becker. What is like a future seed that you want to plant for Becker's growth? Like, what's something that you'd like for the staff that's still here, or for yourself, Jasmine, you're still here, to be able to get Becker to like the what's next?
Ooh. I feel like I'm a Dr. Phil. Not me, but the actual Dr. Phil. You want to take that one first? That
Sure.
was.
Okay, let me get ready. Nah, I'm just playing. Well, like I was saying earlier, I got a bunch of stuff that I researched that I got for just content creation stuff that I have for KP. So I think that class, if it's marketed correctly, has a lot of potential. A lot of people don't know exactly what they mean by just saying content creation. So if we can market it the right way, where more people can understand what it's about, like whether it's like social media or video game streaming, um, they can or even if we market it to like businesses, because a lot of content creation is for ads for businesses and stuff like that. So you have to know who you are, who you're trying to hook into whatever business you have or classes, or there's a whole dynamics going on with that and analytics and things like of the sort. If you want to, because nowadays you can have a career with just content creation, and you can do your own thing. So if there's a way to market that correctly, we can bring more people in here to learn about that, and at the same time, we'll learn more about that, and we can implement that with the podcast. I say we, but you know what I mean.
You're still part of the we.
Yeah, the podcast, like,
You're
and
not even a mile away.
exactly. But I think that program has a lot of potential, marketed the right way. And marketing the center itself, like the center is pretty cool, but not a lot of people know outside of this community what we offer. Like while I was here, random people from the city would just walk in and I'd give them tours. Um, Kathy Meager was here, the people from the special events were here, just or communications, randomly walking in, and they were all like, "Hey, I didn't even know that all this was here." So there's a lot of potential. It just has to be marketed right, and we have the means to do it. So if we can get that involved, then it could just grow and keep growing. But yeah,
What about you guys? What's next for Becker?
I think one of my favorite things actually is like going out into the community and just being like, hey, this is what we're doing. Because I feel like when you just go up to someone and like speak to them face to face, it's a lot more than like sending an email or just like a phone call. It's like, oh, this is like a real person. And you kind of get more out of it. So I feel like the connections we make that way are a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
maybe like what you guys do for.
The ice cream truck. I still want to do the ice cream truck.
Yes.
Oh my God, I
That'd
want
be
to do that
cool.
so bad.
So like a community event per se, based off of here, but having little stations for like different little stations for you guys, what you guys do, but to kind of showcase it to the community. We bring people in, and then we showcase what is happening in real time. Sorry, I keep mentioning the steam camp, but like how we had these little things that we had here and there. So just like an invite for people to come in and talk to them face to face and kind of show them rather than tell them, so something like that would be cool.
Ooh. Next for Becker. I mean, because you guys are already doing incredible things for sure over here. But even when I was here, though, we would always talk about how this community was for sure different because you'll go a mile in a different direction and it's, a community that has extreme access to things. And then you'll go, a couple different steps in the other direction and it's, a community that doesn't really have too much access to things. So I feel like the next big step for Becker is to be able to bridge that gap between the entire community because, I mean, the whole concept of community is the biggest thing for sure across the board. It don't matter, what I'm saying, your current circumstance. It don't matter where you're from. It don't matter, what I'm saying. The only thing that really matters is being able to, come together for a common goal, a common cause, or a common thing to be able to build everybody. Because, I mean, you build up one person and that person builds up another person, then it becomes a chain reaction, and then, you know what I'm saying, a little before you know it, you like, look at what we've done. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's
So-
for me, the awareness, I think, is where I'd like to focus, because like Juan said, people walk in and they're like, I didn't know all this was here. And internally too, that has a lot to do with it, because we tend to come to work, do our best, and then go home. So I think internally, sometimes people aren't as aware of what we do, because they just go to work and do what they do. And we're doing the same. So there's not a whole lot of cross collaboration. This summer was a great opportunity for that, because the sites came to us. We went to their big events. And I think being able to work together in that way, where they're like, oh, I didn't know you guys did all those things, is a big deal. So
Yeah. So like when we had that Minecraft workshop at the YMCA, there was not like it was like one person signed up, and then that Friday before, the day before, I went and took some flyers to Mirabelli for the put it on the summer camp sign out table. By the next day, there was like 20 kids registered or something like that. So they don't know, but if we make that that outreach part of it, it can has a lot of room to grow. And then what Phil was saying about bridging the gap, like little by little, you can see that actually happening. Like now, like it was cool when I saw, like I met Joe Neal during the camp, right, 3D camp. But then he was like, he had been here for mentorship and stuff like the whole summer. So being a part of both the mentorship and the camp, like that was really cool. And then you got Reggie and Rayla, where they were also here for camp, and then they found out about the mentorship program, and they just started wanting to be a part of it. So you can see it little by little how it just becomes one, and then, like he said, what'd you say? You develop one person, and that person develops another. Or how did you say that? That was pretty cool.
You teach one person one thing, and that person goes and teaches the things that you
Yeah.
taught to them, and then now that multiplies all together,
Right.
and then
Starts with one seed at a time.
reach one, teach one. That's what
Aw,
my coach used to tell me all the time.
that's a good mantra. Okay, you guys. Well, I have been super grateful because, Becker restored my faith in a lot of things, but it also reconnected me to how I got involved in recreation to begin with. And to see it go from dirt to where we are today has been amazing. And it's been because of all the wonderful programming that you guys do and all of the teams that we've been able to bring in. We would not be here if it wasn't for each individual part that you all played. So that I'm very grateful for, because there's no way that I would have been able to do all this. We borrowed Jasmine permanently from another entity, and used her brains to launch everything, to train our staff, to get our programming and our makerspace stuff up and going. Phil always challenging me in the right ways when you're like, that doesn't make any sense. Why don't you do it this way? And your ability to like bring in kids, like kids just naturally attach themselves to you no matter what you're doing. And Juan, the millions of hidden talents I had no idea you had. And I've known you for all this time, and never in a million years would I have expected all of the things. Like when you wrote out the guitar curriculum, I was like, I would have never, ever been able to do that. Like for you to evaluate instructors and to guide them and teach them was just in such a short period of time. Like it's not so easy to just jump into a team that's already established. There's that period of time where you're trying to figure out who you are, who they are, where you fit, how you fit. And you just jumped right in. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, I didn't know any of that, but
Like I said, being in a creative environment like really brings out, like that me just wanting to work and just do things, but I am 100% convinced that the success that Becker has had is due to having the correct staff here, the correct people playing their parts, because um, the community that's out here, you have to really kind of like grown up the same way that they did, or kind of be able to relate to them in some way. And a lot of people cannot, so the people that are here are able to relate to them in a certain way. At some point, I was them, so I needed someone to guide me. I needed a safe place to be. And you can't really just come in there and like, tell them, order them around and stuff like that. You kind of have to work with them so they work with you. And I don't think, like, if they had the wrong people here, the center would not be as successful at what it does and what it provides. So,
I agree.
good job, everyone.
Well, thank you all. That's all our time for today.
It's bigger than us.
It is way bigger than us, and we'll see you in season 2.
Keep hope alive.
You're heard. You feel me.
We are so corny. It was all very corny. It was cool. I like it.